What is going on, family? What is going on? I'm your girl, Angela Crenshaw. Guys, what is going on? Listen, we are doing a Throwback Thursday for you guys. And the reason why this is such an important topic right now with the way that the world is going, I want to make sure that you guys are equipped and have the knowledge that you need to be able to move forward in your life. And what I'm talking about is life insurance. Yes, guys, life insurance. We did an episode 106 called Two Things Are Inevitable. And we were talking to Junior and Tanisha Staton. And what we were talking to them about was life insurance. And guys, please hear and please listen really hard to this episode. I know it's something hard to talk about. I know it's something hard to think about, but we have to, especially in this day and time. And so I definitely want you guys to be able to listen to about what they have to say and just understand that life insurance can be wealth. So I need you to understand that as well. But also just to let you understand that life insurance can also be a love letter after you're gone, telling your family that you love them. Even after you're gone, you're saying that I love you. And that's how important life insurance is. So guys, take a listen to this episode. Talk to you later. Bye.
Well, hello there, family. I didn't see you there. And welcome back to another edition of Crenshaw Corner. I am your host, Sanchez Crenshaw, and as always, I am joined by the absolute best part of my day.
You better tell him, baby. Tell him.
The apple of all my eyes.
All of the eyes.
The wind beneath every wing.
Four, because you got
There you go
glasses.
again. But still, my eyes are still better than yours.
Hater.
I'm just saying.
You know what? Don't
what's
do
up?
that.
What?
Don't do that. Because my vision is,
It's
well, you are
vision.
single and I got progressive. But without the line.
That's
so
that
cute.
real cute way of saying bifocals.
But so you don't have to say that.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, but
That's
I don't have the
real
line.
cute way of saying you wear bifocals.
Listen, do you remember the time, we off task already, but do you remember the time that we were doing our financial fast for a year where we couldn't spend no money to
Yes,
do
ma'am.
nothing?
Yes, ma'am.
And remember I went to get my glasses?
Yes, ma'am.
And the lady was like, well, it's a little bit over if I get the progressive. So I had to get the bifocal line because I refused to pay extra, honey. I was walking around with them. I got them green glasses with the bifocal line.
Because you cheap and wear bifocals, but can we finish? That's the moral of the story. You cheap and wear bifocals.
No, we were doing financial fast for a year. I couldn't purchase it.
Once again.
Carry on.
Can I? Because
Come on.
we didn't even get through in it.
Listen.
This is crazy.
Just gotta do what you do. Because it reminded
The
me.
rib that completes me.
Yes, I am.
The Sinclair to my Overton.
Okay.
You better know this
Wait.
one. For real.
Wait.
I'm a
living
person.
color. No,
Thank you.
No, not living color. Living single.
Thank
I
you.
feel like I was on Family Feud.
Because for real, if you wouldn't have got that one, I was straight flattening your
Listen,
tires.
but why I said living color?
I don't
meant
know.
to say living single. We are living the single. Like that right there.
We do not own the rights
To that song.
nor the lyrics to that song.
Or the vocals.
Question though. Are you going to tell a family your name?
What's going on, family? What is going
Thank you
on,
very
guys?
much.
I am Angela Crenshaw, guys. What is going on?
This is my wife, family.
I am.
Family, this is my wife.
I felt like saying, I'm coming. Go ahead, baby.
No, for real though. If you wouldn't have got that one, I was flat. Even though I would have had to pay for it myself, I was going to flat all your tires.
No, you know what? I had to think about it, but I was on point. But then I had some help. But I felt like I was on Family Feud because you remember I was pointing at you and everything.
Yeah, but I can't tell you the answer if I tell you the question.
Then that's
Family.
But I got it fast though.
You did.
Come on, somebody.
I'm proud of you.
Yes, I
One
did.
for the culture. Family, welcome.
One for the who?
One for the culture.
Say it. All right.
Family, we welcome you. As
Welcome.
always, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for listening.
For our new listeners.
For our new family members, however you found us, whether it's on
Yes.
iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Google Play, whether it's Amazon Music, iHeartRadio.
Come on now.
Or on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. We thank you guys so much
Thank
for listening.
you guys so much.
For our returning family members.
Come on, return us.
You already know how we feel about
we
you.
love you.
Now, new family, don't misunderstand.
We do love you, though.
We love you.
We do.
There
We
is
do.
a special place in our heart for you. But
It
it's
is.
just something about those returning family members.
Keep listening.
That for 106 episodes or 7 or something crazy like
I think
that.
we had 106.
365 days.
Have been listening to
somewhere
the
around
Crenshaw
there.
Corner.
Have been listening to the Crenshaw Corner.
Come on now.
So we appreciate you. We thank you. And as always, you really did the.
I did clap.
You really did the church clap.
Yeah, I did. You saw hallelujah.
You really did the church clap.
Hallelujah.
The old Baptist church pap is really what you did right
First of all,
now.
it's Pentecostal. Get your life
This
together.
is crazy.
Carry on.
May
House
I?
sleep.
May I
Yeah,
finish?
house sleep. House
Can
sleep.
I?
Come on, go
Because
ahead.
we got guests. I would like to get to them eventually.
We are, but they understand. They
I'm just
clapped
saying.
too. They clapped. They was clapping.
So, family.
Thank you, baby. You know what? I love when I got a choir when I'm at church. Amen.
Family,
My
welcome
amen
to the
circle.
Family, welcome to
Yes.
the cookout. This is gonna be one of those episodes, family. And family, welcome to the
Yes.
cookout.
Yes.
And as always, make sure you bring some aluminum foil so you can what?
Take something with you.
So you can take something
Some
with you.
Crenshaw nuggets.
For our new listeners, this is normal, so I'm not even gonna make up anything. My wife will go on a tangent.
No, this is the second time in all the times that we've been doing episodes. Second time that I went off on the deep end, but I'm back.
I got a tally.
And first of all, don't keep receipts. Number one,
I got
and number
receipts.
two, I have good intentions. Whenever I get on the mic, new family, I got good intentions.
And I will always continue to say it.
What's that?
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
He's such a hater.
So I'm just saying.
He's such a hater.
So for our new listeners, understand, if you've ever read Alice in Wonderland, you know how Alice just followed that little white rabbit down the hole? That is my wife.
I do not.
She will follow that
It's
little
a
white
squirrel.
rabbit
It's a squirrel.
down the hole.
Squirrel. Thank you very much. Carry on.
And the topic that we started with will not be what we talk about.
But we tried, though. Give us credit.
You keep saying that.
We do. We have good intentions. I don't care what you say.
But what we try to do, family, is give you something. We try to leave you with a perspective.
Yes.
A nugget, if you will.
Yes, a nugget. A gem.
A gem.
See? And I didn't even say the other part.
So that's why, family,
I didn't
we
say
tell
Clubhouse.
you to make sure you bring the aluminum foil so you can take something with you.
Yes.
Family, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast.
are.
What that means is that we can be found on the socials. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, all in the Crenshaw
We should
Corner.
do TikTok.
I am too old for TikTok.
So we should do Clubhouse. Because we could have a whole set. You know what we could do? Like, in actuality.
I think you trying to have my blood pressure go up.
Okay.
I think you
I'll
are.
tell you later.
I think you
But
are.
you know, we could do a whole session.
We are on the socials.
Okay, hater.
We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, all under Crenshaw Corner.
You a hater player.
And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
I'm just offering a new way of going about things.
Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
Okay. Carry
Now,
on.
family,
Come on, family.
we are in a session.
Yeah.
Not a recession, but a session.
In a session.
And the session is
Come on.
March Money Madness.
Come on. You got it.
That's what it is.
I like it.
And what's getting betterer,
MMMM.
what's getting betterer and betterer
betterer.
about that?
Yes.
March almost over. I ain't got to talk about this no more. That's what's getting betterer and betterer and betterer.
You so disrespectful.
It's gonna be a whole new thing.
What I thought
What
you
you
was gonna say,
what you
like,
thought I was gonna say?
I learned some stuff. You know, I'm implementing some stuff. People make me feel good. I feel better about the money aspect of it.
Right. Nah, that ain't what I was gonna say at
That
all.
what you was gonna
The-
say.
The tournament almost over.
You know what?
But with that being fed, family,
With that being fed.
words are hard.
Words are hard. With that being fed, family.
With that
'cause he's
being
being fed
said,
today.
family,
He's being fed.
We are going to
today.
continue
Yes.
along this March Money Madness.
See how he has to say it slow just
have
so
to.
he
I have
won't
to.
forget what to say.
And family, as you know, so if you've been listening
Yes.
to us in March, we've been talking about my wife's absolute favorite subject, finances.
Yeah.
But what we've tried to do is come from a different angle
yes.
when it comes to finances.
Absolutely.
So it's boring to me. Just talking about books and budgets and numbers and 2 + 2, then subtract the 3, but then add that R. And then but nobody can still tell me why am I solving for X? Why is X the one I gotta find?
And that's why you don't do the finances.
See? Anyway.
Because that right there.
But what has
makes
happened though,
sense.
family?
Yes.
Is
I'm
that
excited.
we have
Come on now.
some members of the family with us
Yes.
that are gonna bring to us some wonderfulness.
Yes.
Within this
what?
some wonderfulness,
wonderfulness.
within this family,
Yes.
within this conversation.
Yes.
So, family, without further ado, I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. So, if you would introduce yourself
Go
to the
ahead.
families.
Hey y'all, I'm Tanisha Staton.
we gonna always let y'all in the background. She trying to get this whole microphone thing together here.
It's okay.
See, she getting it. She got it.
I'm getting it.
You got it.
That's good.
I feel like it's right here.
You good.
It's like right here.
Literally.
Introduce yourself, beautiful person. Go ahead, go for it.
Yeah, I'm Tanisha Staton. I am originally from Detroit.
Yes.
Old town. Okay. That was your cue, sir.
That was your cue, sir.
She'll open the door for you.
All right. So my name is Junior Staton, and I'm from Marshall, North Carolina. I'm country as corn, and believe what you heard. But I'm a husband, a father, and a great friend to my wife.
Yes.
And today, you're gonna learn today.
You're gonna
Learn today.
First of all, I don't know what they're gonna learn because we're supposed to be talking about life insurance.
We're going to.
However, Junior keep
We
looking
go
his
to.
wife up and down. Bro, I need you to concentrate on the microphone. Look at her up and down. I see you.
Have you seen my wife?
I seen your wife.
You know her?
I know her.
I know her.
You know her.
Before we
I
go
know
any,
you.
before we go any further, though, just before we go any further, I have heard a lot of things in my life. My 43 years of walking this earth. I have never heard.
I wasn't gonna bring it up. I wasn't gonna.
I can't let it go. I can't let it go. I have never heard I'm as country as corn. That is a new one on me.
He has no problem telling people that. And when, the more you talk to him, you'll see what he talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when we first met, you know what I mean? She didn't understand a lot of stuff I said because, you know what I mean, being from Marshall, we cut words off of being from North Carolina. You know what I mean? The way we talk, sometimes we talk fast and stuff like that. And from Detroit, you know, it's a fast moving type of joint.
Right.
But
They talk totally
yeah, they
different.
talk is different. So it's like I'd be saying stuff and she'd sit down like, what?
Yeah, we won't finish a sentence sometimes in North Carolina and expect you to understand that.
Right.
And you should know exactly what we mean when we say
Well,
it.
that's sad.
I'm just saying.
Right.
Listen.
So that leads me perfectly into
Yes,
the opening
it does.
topic. So Detroit, Mooresville, North Carolina, Marshville,
Get it right, baby. Marsh.
North Carolina.
Come on.
Yes.
How does that happen?
How does that happen? And how long have y'all been married and together?
We met at a wedding.
Oh, in Marsh
or in Detroit?
or in Detroit? Where were you?
In Rock Hill. We met
Really?
at a wedding.
Oh, okay.
A mutual friend's wedding. I was a hostess. He was an usher. And that was 8 years ago.
Wow.
June 14th, we'll be married 7 years.
Oh,
Come
wow.
on now. Congratulations.
Oh, y'all still newlyweds.
Y'all still babies.
Yeah.
I try to get to understand the
Listen.
newlywed part.
Y'all still getting to know each other.
Woo, some days I don't want to know.
So so y'all at the wedding, y'all looked at each other. So what happened? Tell us, because we're gonna get to the money part, but we need to get to this part first.
She said she was serving.
Oh.
But you up here serving.
Preach.
No. I was helping. I was walking around helping. You know, they give you one job and you end up doing 10 other ones.
Yeah, especially
Right.
as a hostess.
So I saw him and I was like, tall cup of water. Nice. Keep on doing. I'm doing what I got to do. Wedding, reception, keep it moving.
Right.
He left.
Ah.
I went to the gas station. Guess who's walking across the parking lot?
There he was.
There he was.
The water.
The water.
The water. You were thirsty.
So
you were
I
thirsty.
rolled down the window and I was like, hey. And he came from the parking lot. He got a whole nother version. He came from on
Because
that
I'm waiting for his
side.
version. Because he got this
Came
face.
on over and we started talking.
Right.
Oh, so you pursued him.
Oh, you got it first.
Oh, okay.
You rolling down windows.
I see.
Look, not windows. You rolling down
Yeah.
windows.
You saw something you wanted and you
so
just
you
went
was so
for
you
it.
was really thirsty. That's what you're saying. Because you said he was water. I'm just asking.
I guess that day I needed a drink.
You needed a drink. Okay.
His name been drinking ever since. From the well that don't run dry.
Come on, somebody.
Oh, wow. So, Junior, does your version match hers?
Is it the same version? Are you feeling good about her version?
There's some parts that have been eschewed. And that's a polite way to put it.
Okay, go ahead.
But real talk, we did. I was an usher. She was a hostess and all that stuff. And spoke at the wedding. Boom, it is what it is. I left because there was an after reception party type of joint.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
I went to the gas station. I'm coming across the parking lot. I hear somebody holler at me. And it wasn't no roll down the window. Hey, it wasn't none of that.
Right.
Somebody hollered at the car.
Oh, wow.
All the gas stations in Rock Hill.
it's his turn.
How she come to the same
Same
gas
one you
station?
happen to be at.
It was
So
well
wait
lit.
a minute. Because you're making me feel like she was stalking you.
Come on,
I'm
somebody.
just asking
You said the
you.
word, yes.
No, I'm just
You said
asking
the
because
word.
the way that you said it
Well,
was
that's the way I
like
felt on
my
it.
friend was stalking you. I'm
Well-
just trying to figure this out.
When you see what you want, you go after it. That's
Okay.
what you
So,
got to stalk things sometimes.
I almost choked. I'm sorry. Don't do it. Okay, wait. Baby, you might want to check my mic, baby, because I'm okay, go ahead. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, carry on.
Yeah, so she did holler at me when I walked across the parking lot, and I have to I've apologized to her before because it was a lie that I got on. I threw the line out on a lie because I saw the little Mary Kay thing on the back of her car.
Right,
I walked past, right? And I was like,
I'm scared.
Oh, you sell Mary Kay? Man, I've been looking for something for my skin.
What in the world?
So you think quick on your feet. That's what it is. Think quick on your feet.
Basketball player. So she gave me, she said she had some samples where we chit-chatted for a minute.
Oh, you was out here selling, just out here getting, now all of a sudden you got samples.
Hey, I kept samples.
For his skin?
Hey, whatever I had.
It was for his skin.
I ain't even asked what his skin type was.
You know if he was oily or normal.
Right.
Yep. So she gave me a business card and wrote a number on the back too.
Oh, okay.
So
okay then.
I chit-chatted with her and chopped it up after that, and they,
The rest is
history. The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Look at God.
We still together. Still together.
Yeah, we still here.
So now, do you feel comfortable with what he said, like stalking and hollering at him? Because the way you made it sound, just give me a minute, baby. Because I got to be clear. Because I got to help. I'm helping my friend.
Yeah, clear it up. Clear it up.
So he said you rolled down the window and you said hey, but he was like you said hey. So I'm just trying to make sure where we at. With
Well,
it.
at least he just said hey this time because he normally makes this noise.
Oh.
When he tells the story.
Okay.
Do it, Junior.
What's the noise,
Make the
Junior?
noise.
What's that?
Okay.
When he tells this story, that's why I'm always like, ooh, I don't know.
Okay, so is you whooping people?
No, I just rolled down the window and said, hey, now that.
But is it? I'm just asking the level of your hey, sis. Because I need the family to know. Because Junior's saying some stuff out here stalking,
And I've never known Junior to lie.
Oh my
I
God.
was 60, and Sanchez, let me tell you, I was roughly 63 feet
Roughly
from
63.
her car. So therefore, that little light thing y'all just heard.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There's no way you
wait,
would've heard.
wait,
There's no way you
whoa,
would've heard.
You're not gonna do that to my friend. No, sorry.
Right.
How you know you was 63 feet?
He had to walk over.
Because thank you very much, sir.
Don't do that. Don't do that with him. Don't do that with
picture
him.
like this. I was
Don't do
coming
that.
out of the store. Her car was at the gas pump. It was the Pilot. At the time, it was a Hess exit 77 on I-77.
Oh, this is what we gonna do right now.
He remember the day he
You
met
know
the
when
love
he
of his
met his
life.
wife. Don't play.
Oh, he remember it.
He remember.
And the lights was like all that.
It was well lit. That's how I ended up there. I
So
needed
when
to
she
get
saw
gas.
that light shining off of this here chocolate,
Okay.
Just hitting that complexion just right.
Just right.
That light just hitting it just. I got you.
But it could be hitting. It could be hitting too, just right, baby, because he said he needed something for his skin. He
Well,
said
you have to keep. You got to keep the conversation open. You gotta. That was the door.
That was the door.
You got to walk in the door. You got to
Okay.
find a way to get in the door.
Okay, so he got in the door and ain't never left.
Always be selling.
Okay, always be selling. He
Right.
never leave.
It ain't never leave.
Okay, I got it.
Hey.
Okay. Well, do you know what his skin is now, honey? By any chance, is it oily, normal? You know what is his skin?
It depends. He's combination.
It's a combination. My man is a combination skin. Thank you, man.
I'm having fun with this, so we're gonna keep riding this for a little bit.
we got somewhere to go.
No, we good. We gonna
No,
ride
we
this
gonna
road
do
for
these
just a
fine.
little
No,
bit.
we not.
We gonna get there. You got
You got one more question.
you know me. I'm good for segueing.
You got one more question. Go ahead. Go for it. Go ahead.
Here's what I'm curious about, Junior. So now we've established the fact that she came after you.
yes, sir.
She saw something. She was the lioness out there. She was on the hunt.
Now you a lioness.
I like that too.
She saw her prey. She went for it.
Oh, he was a prey.
I'm just saying.
So he weak. He out
I
here.
didn't say that at all.
Did he just
'Cause
go? Wait a minute. Pause. Everybody hush. Everybody, I need a moment of silence. Did Junior just go? Wait.
He
No, that was
purred.
more
That was that purr. That was that.
See, the
growl.
the lioness wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah, that's that
But
growl.
you needed that in there with the with the lioness.
Okay.
And I'm saying.
No.
She wasn't gonna- she wasn't gonna growl.
She wasn't gonna do. Okay, and what was it again, Junior? Okay, thank you.
But see, you can't take it that way though.
What?
Because the lions do not just hunt the weak.
Come on.
The lions hunt everything in the jungle. So you just can't say, look at that man, and be like, oh, because he was weak. No.
No.
And first of all, the lioness only goes after the best. So don't do that.
You out here just giving Junior the best you
I'm
got.
just saying.
You out here giving the best you
just
got
saying.
out here
I can
today.
agree with him on that.
Oh,
But,
could you
but
really?
think about it though. Do you know what makes a lion a lion?
What makes a lion?
His mindset.
So you was ready for her. As soon as you saw the Mary Kay, you already knew what you was gonna say.
No, as soon as I saw her.
Okay then.
So
Mary
that's,
Kay was just
and that was going to be my next question.
It was just a lie to get you where you wanted to. What other lies you done told to get what you want?
It wasn't a lie. It wasn't a lie.
Look, why you raising your hand? We ain't in school. What's going on?
I plead the fifth.
So I'm curious, Julia, what was the first thing that attracted you to your wife?
Her eyes.
Her eyes.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Because she's got like a light brown eyes, and like sometimes like when the sun hit them in different ways, it turns a really light, and it's just I don't know.
We was in a
Her
building.
eyes.
We was in a building when we met.
Take the compliment and roll with it?
I told her more than once how beautiful her eyes are, and she compliments in her.
Thank you, honey.
See the face.
See that face? See that face she giving you? She give you the face. Okay, so what about him? Besides him being a tall cup of water because you was thirsty. Besides that, sis, what else was it?
The one thing once I started talking to him that attracted me was the fact that he loved God and he was a great father.
Okay.
That says a whole lot.
That says a whole lot about a
it.
man.
Yes.
Yes. Please put God first. Please, 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 please.
So beautiful eyes, love God, great father. So we know this is the road we want to travel. So unfortunately, I got to start this conversation.
It's not unfortunately. It's amazing.
But I'm curious because I already know, Junior. I feel like you don't hold back on anything. If
Never.
you think it and it needs to, and the conversation needs to be had, it's coming up. So I'm curious. So when did you guys first start having a real conversation about finances? Because, like you said, you guys have only been together. Well, not only, but you guys have been together for married 7 years. So, like I said, still new to it, still newlywed, still learning each other.
Yeah.
You had separate lives before you guys came in. You had different experiences.
You had Mary Kay.
Yeah. So when is the first real conversation you guys had about finances and how did it go? What was that like, that first real conversation?
We still having it.
To be 100. Yeah, that's a conversation we have more than once. It's like we did the Dave Ramsey joint
right
a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And we sat down to actually go into it, but somebody, I ain't gonna call nobody's name, but when we start talking about finances, just do and tell me what I got to do. It's like, no, this is something we got to do. But then it becomes
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, but and I'm like, well, no, babe, we've got to figure this out.
Right.
And the crazy part is, just earlier this week, we was having the conversation again because you know what I'm saying. Finance is one of the things that's a continuous type of conversation.
It's currency. It flows.
You know what I mean? And so it's like when we do talk about it, and I'm like, okay, babe, this is what we're gonna. The goal is this here. We're gonna try this, and it's like, oh, okay, that's fine.
You know what amazes me? We've done this entire month, and we've talked about finances of different couples, even on and off the podcast. And there's always one of Sanchez and Mama T, and then there's me and you. Because it's always that one that be like, I don't really care about it like you. And it's the other one, I bit my tongue, y'all. And it's the other one that's like, no, we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this. And so, and it has never, I don't think we've had one couple yet that's been on the same page with this so far.
And it's not even so much as being on the same page. It's just what happens is God does things the way he wants to do it. And he 9 times out of 10, he will make it so he puts things together that where one is weak, the other is strong. Yeah. And where one has a what's the word I want to use?
A different perspective.
Obsession about something.
I don't think obsession. Do you feel
that's
like
a strong word?
Junior, do you feel like obsessed?
I'm speaking from personal. I'm speaking from personal experience.
But with who? By who though?
I know my wife.
What?
You have an obsessive personality.
I do not. Does Junior have obsessive personality? First of all, Junior, get on the mic because you think you slick. He go lead his way to my baby. Hold on.
I'm just saying, baby.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
I mean,
about some things, yes.
Yeah, you have an obsessive personality.
You
babe.
think so?
Once you get a hold of something, you won't let it go. Hence the fact that I was up to 3:30 in the morning because you. Anyway. Because you can't let it go, and certain things got to be a certain way, and the room is in order. No, 3:30 in the morning.
Because I cannot.
I know, baby. Your mind won't let you.
Your mind won't let me rest.
Your mind won't let you.
Literally, my mind won't. If it's something like ooh, I'll be like ooh.
I got you.
So I'm just gonna be up till I get it right. I cannot let it go.
So because you guys have different philosophies when it comes to finance and it comes to money, how are you able to make it work? Because it's obvious that you guys have different philosophies on it. So how do you make it work?
Well, before we ask them how they make it work, I want to know what's your philosophy on finances. So I kind of know like you like, but what's your thought process when it comes to finances?
My thought process is that at the end of the day, we always gonna have Bill and Sam. we got to pay. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to take everything I have.
I'm sorry.
And put it
and Boot? Say it again.
Bill and Uncle Sam. We always got to pay them.
I like the Boot part. You missed it.
Yeah.
Boop. Boop.
But yeah, no, we're not going to give them everything. You go to work. You going to work for what you got to do. You going to take care of all of your stuff.
Right.
But you got to still live.
Mm-hmm.
So what we've learned is we can't keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
We got to live like Junior and Tanisha. We can't live like Claire and
and Cliff.
Look
how I knew that. Look how I knew that girl. You see me? I'm here.
Yeah. See, she caught the alley-oop.
Once again, I will flat your tires if you don't know it.
But yeah, we're learning because I like to shop. Mm-hmm. I shop clearance.
Okay.
But I like to shop.
Okay.
You do know that's still shopping, though, right?
It's still clearance. But when you save more than you spend, that's a win.
Okay. But if you done came in the house with 15 bags from clearance, how much have you really saved, Angela?
I don't even feel, I didn't look at him because I felt like, my God, I could preach this if I wanted to, that he wasn't talking to you. Because I'm a clearance queen.
Because I've been hearing that for 21 years.
I'm a clearance
But it was
person.
on clearance.
It was on clearance.
But that's still money. But you got
clearance.
15 bags.
It don't matter. It was on clearance.
All the bags total up what you would have spent on that one thing.
You still spent it, though.
See that?
But you only spent it once instead of 15.
I'm not going to win this conversation.
You're not going to win. You're not going to win.
Silence is golden.
I noticed that.
So now, Junior, what's your philosophy when it comes to money? Because, okay, so you a spender or you a saver?
But I do both.
We gonna keep
Spender,
riding
saver.
that.
No, she does spend and save. And
because she's in clearance.
I feel like that shot's fired at me.
And it's like my thought process is, okay, yeah, we gotta have this, or whatever, you know what I mean? And when it comes to the monetary side of it, hey, I'll make it, we make it do what it do with it.
Right.
And it's kind of like putting peanut butter on bread. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to spread it out. You don't want too much over here or too little over there. So you're trying to spread it out as good as possible because you want a good sandwich. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So
sandwich.
Leave him alone.
Because you want a good sandwich.
So
I wasn't gonna touch that either.
so it's like, you know what I mean? We want to make sure that at the end of the day, if something happens to either one of us, that we still good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
Yeah, my philosophy on it is just that we got to make the money in order to spend the money. So once I do make the money go here, money go here, money go here. And as long as we continue putting it in the different piles, Bill and Sam gonna have it what they want.
Yeah.
And then Tanisha gonna have hers.
Yes, as long as I get some.
Yeah, get your Lawrence.
Actually, I'm so glad that Junior said what he said. Because once again, that's a perfect segue into the conversation we're actually about to have.
Yeah.
Because what we're about to talk about is a topic that we don't like to discuss.
Talk about, yes.
Especially if we're being honest, especially in our community. We don't like having that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we try to have it when it's well too late.
Well,
and that's the topic of insurance.
Yeah, life insurance. Yeah.
And that just happens to be a specialty
of these amazing, wonderful people.
So let's talk about it. So first of all, kind of your background in that. So because we want the family to understand, we're just not picking just random people off the street and just talking in the microphone. Right. So when it comes to Tanisha, when it comes to life insurance and insurance, kind of just a little bit for the family, what is your background when it comes to that?
So we have our business name is Legacy Movement Group, and our mission statement is to help destroy poverty and build legacy one household at a time. And what that means is, like you were saying, it's a lot of people who do not believe in insurance. They don't realize the importance of it. Yeah. Because they always say, well, I ain't gonna get to use this. And that's not always a true statement. Right. Because what a lot of people don't realize is that most life insurance policies have what they call living benefits. So if you got diagnosed with cancer, had a heart attack, came down with some type of terminal illness, you could get access to a big chunk of those funds while you're still alive. Wow. To help take care of treatments, whatever, just so you could live. And that's a big thing. But the thing is, we never knew about that.
Right. Never taught that even because so I'm sorry, never taught or even heard about it. You just hear buy some life insurance so when you die you can get buried. That's the extent of it. So what you're saying, like, family, get your pen and paper out and get ready, because that's
add just
good.
a little bit to that. get just enough.
Right.
To get buried.
Right.
True.
Don't leave nothing for nobody else.
Nothing else for nobody
Don't
else.
leave nothing for nobody else.
Just enough to cover it that the funeral home get theirs. And that's it.
That's it.
A lot of people feel that way though, and it's like from talking to different people and said with many different families, people have said crazy things as far as, I'm not gonna leave that much money to them so that way they can take care of somebody else after I'm gone. You know what I mean? People have said crazy stuff like that.
Wow.
Right. And just like the conversation, whenever we do sit with people, 90% of the time my wife sits with people, you know what I mean? Her biggest thing is helping people to really understand the way that life insurance can truly benefit you now.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you go on, it's still gonna benefit you.
Right.
And all those behind you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just like you said a while ago, Sanchez, that most people, I just need enough to get put in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more than just getting put in the ground, because now you still got bills, you got this, you got this, you got this that you leaving, whoever behind you.
Exactly.
So your kids got to figure out. Yeah, your kids got to figure out. Oh man, how am I going to pay for this and this? And oh my God, this is $22,000 from the hospital for 1-2 nights in the hospital you done spent.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know how much that would be, but you know what I mean. And so that's the main thing that when Tanisha sits with a person, the biggest thing that she tries to do is get them to understand the way that the money will truly flow now into them.
Because I think people forget about that. Just because you're gone, it doesn't just automatically wipe out your debt. It doesn't automatically just wipe out what you owe and the bills that you accumulate. Like you said, if you're, God forbid, if you're sick and it's a long process and you're going through the hospital, you're going through things like that.
Yeah.
They just don't say, "Oh, well, this person's passed away, so we just wipe out." No, they're still looking for their money, so they're still coming to the family. So now we're having a situation, and I know you guys have seen this. You can speak to it a lot better than I can. So you're dealing with a situation where now that spouse is not only grieving, but now they're trying to figure out, how do I pay this $22,000 bill or this $100,000, whatever it is. So when did you guys first realize the importance of like insurance and life insurance, and how did we? Because to be honest, it's kind of a boring subject. I mean, it's not something, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't really see you being in Detroit as a little girl growing up. It's like, you know what? When I become an adult, I just want to sell insurance.
Just gonna get that life
I don't really
insurance.
see that. So how did we get here?
Well, what happened was when my mom passed away,
Okay.
back in 2006, she was in the hospital, out of the hospital last 6 months.
Right.
And my bonus dad, she took care of the house. So he didn't know who was paid when they were paid. Things started to lapse and cancel. So when she passed away, nobody knew. It had lapsed.
Wow.
The insurance. So not only are you trying to, and this, I hear this a whole lot. Not only are you trying to figure out what life looks like without this person, your new normal, but you're trying to figure out, how do you take care of those final needs?
Right.
And then again, 5 years ago, we went through the same thing when my bonus mom passed away.
Okay.
It was like she had just gotten a policy and it was too new and it didn't pay. So it was like trying to figure it out. So when because I did do insurance back in Detroit, but I stopped. So when it came full circle again, I was like, okay, God, I hear you. Let's get into it.
Right.
And a friend of mine, she was like, hey, I got something I think you'll like. So I got back into it. And you never know how much of a blessing you can be to somebody till you sit down with that mother and you help her get coverage and she break down and fall apart and tell you she ain't been sleeping because she didn't know when she left here how her children were going to maintain.
Right.
Wow.
It's a feeling like nothing you can ever imagine.
Wow. I think too, people don't understand. I remember Dave Ramsey, of course, Susie Orman, and a couple of other, I can't think of his name too, was saying that, telling people, use your life insurance as a wealth builder. And see, when you don't understand what that means, you just gloss over it, not knowing, like you said, what you can use it now, you can use it later, and you can even have it for your family in the future. But I think that we got so close-minded, we didn't even consider. Sometimes, because me and Sanchez talked about it before, and I was asking before, he has all his life insurance now, but before he didn't, because he was like, because I didn't never think I would make it to 21, or I didn't think, or, I thought like my mom had it for me, so why am I doing it as an adult? Because, most kids, every mother back in the day had the Gerber baby or something like that. And the crazy part about that, after it got a certain age, They was cashing them bad boys in, and they was no longer, because I remember my uncle cashed in my cousins. I'm like, we cashing in life insurance policies? I didn't know that was a thing. You know what I'm saying? And so he cashed it in because he had it since he was a baby, so they were able to cash it in, left him with no insurance whatsoever at that point. But I'm like, you're 28, 29. Guess what? You can get your own life insurance. And I think that a lot of times we don't consider that. We like, oh, our parents got it. No, you need more. Actually, you need more now than you've ever needed before.
Yeah.
You know? So how do you, when you guys sit down and talk to a client, how do you suggest to them what to do in reference to life insurance? I know some people say term, some people say whole. Can you tell me the difference? Because I definitely want to know the difference in that.
Okay, so with term, my philosophy with term and the way I explain it is term terminates. So based on your age, when you obtain a policy, you can get a life insurance policy between 10 and 30 years based on your age. And a lot of people with young kids get term.
Okay.
Because you can get a whole lot for a little bit. But if you can do two things with term. Most companies at the halfway point or 65, you can convert it to permanent coverage. But if you don't and you just let it go, at the end of that term, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you just don't have any insurance. Now, the thing is, the life insurance are gambling on you. They said, we're going to give you a whole lot for a little bit. And they're hoping you outlive it, because if you outlive it, they win.
That's how they make their money.
Yes. But if you leave here before then, they lose because they have to pay it out.
Right.
So it's just a gamble.
Right.
But then you have what they call whole life. Some people call it permanent. Some people, but with whole life and you have whole life, you have index universal life. Those both build cash value.
Okay.
So the policies you were just talking about them cashing in, those were policies that had built cash value. They had accumulated over the years in an interest-bearing account. And after they was like, oh, he made it to 25, I want my money back.
He on his own.
You
now.
owe me.
Right.
You owe me now.
You cash it in. So
Right.
with the way they work, you can take a loan off of them and you can pay yourself back. If you don't pay yourself back, it comes off of the death benefit.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Junior, how did you get into life insurance, man?
She came home one day and said, "Baby, let's do this because we just need to we're just trying to diversify our income.
Right.
You know what I
Right,
mean, bring
right.
in as many different streams of income as possible.
Absolutely.
From what I do 24/7 to what she was doing 24/7 to now doing the insurance 24/7 on her behalf,
Right.
and you know, just trying to have as many things come in as possible.
Right.
And that was basically how I got into it from this one.
So growing up in the South, growing up in Marshville, North Carolina.
It's Marsh, baby.
That's what I said, Marshville.
Is it Marshville or Marsh?
You said Marville.
It's Marshville. I just
You don't
heard
always hear the
Marsh.
H in there.
No, you don't say
Oh,
that.
that's see. Y'all need y'all to say it.
You
Okay.
don't, you don't say the H, it's Marshville.
It's Marshville.
You don't say the H.
Y'all is killing me today.
We're from North Carolina. You don't say all the letters.
They take out letters.
Right, because I'm
and
like,
they add extras.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
you don't
it's
do that.
Marshville. He's talking about some Marsh. I'm like, that is not
So
what the
first of
man
all,
said.
that take too long to even say.
I can't take
Take too
it.
long.
I'll tell you where I'm from.
You know
Just
what I'm
forget it.
See.
Go ahead, carry on, my brothers.
Growing up, were there conversations about insurance? Was your family talking about insurance, talking about finances? I'm just curious, growing up, were there conversations about finances and insurance and what you need to do? Were those conversations ever had?
No, sir. No. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what is growing up in the South? It's like when the grown folks talking, when they talking about insurance and
Yes, sir.
stuff like that, they talking about money.
Right.
You don't need to be in here. Go on and go run and play or whatever.
Right.
And now when I became roughly probably 15, 16, because I started working at 14. So when I started working, then they told us you need to open your checking account, open your savings account, try to put a little bit in your savings account, but you got to keep your checking account open, yada yada yada.
Right.
Didn't have a conversation about your credit, life insurance, and all that other stuff.
Wow.
Those conversations really wasn't had back in the day.
Wow.
Not in my household. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Wow.
So-
But now they had it, but
Just not with.
Just not with you.
So
Right.
at what
Right.
point did you start realizing the importance of it?
well, it was important. When I went into the military, I did find out how important life insurance was, simply because when I was getting ready to go to we was going to go to the Persian Gulf
Right.
in '94, and we had to write this letter. Now I think we had like $200,000 life insurance policy then, and my parents were the beneficiary of it at that point in time. But I had to write a letter. Mm-hmm. And the letter, we had to write this letter, put in an envelope. Okay, what's it for? Well, the letter's going to be what's going to go to your parents if you don't come back.
Wow.
So it was like, oh.
Wow.
And like I said, I went in 1993, so I'm not sure how to do it now, but either way it goes, whenever our sergeant told us that right there, and I was like, man. So, I mean, it changed my thought process.
It just became real.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That right there was really real at that point. Then.
Right.
But then leaving out the military and then continuing to grow from there, it's like I always had life insurance with the job. And then when she started doing life insurance, was like, well, no, we got to have more than that.
Absolutely.
I was like, okay. You know what I mean? Because I know I got an IUL, and then there's the life insurance, and yada, 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 yada. Mm-hmm. So.
I wanted to see, because I knew my background coming up, and it was very similar. Conversations were had, but conversations never had around me when it came. I was never taught anything. I've said it before to Angela, I said it on the podcast. You know, my elementary school taught me how to write a check. That's when back in the day they used to teach you those basics. You know, that's why I learned about a checking account. That's why I learned about savings account, how to actually fill out a check, what it's for. Like my family, I love them, but those conversations were never had. You know, I wasn't taught, to be honest, to this day, I've never had a conversation with my parents about credit. To this day, and I'm 43. We've never had a conversation about credit, how to build credit, what credit is, what credit looks like. Here's when I found out about credit, when I destroyed mine. That's when I found out. When I was coming out of high school, and, you know, when you come out of high school, I think they still do it now, you know, every credit card company want to send you a credit card.
They give it all.
They give it all to you.
Then they don't even run your credit. Just
15 of them.
You know, just take this.
We don't need your credit.
Yeah.
Be good. Go ahead and get this card.
So by the time, I started getting my first credit card offers, and I was like 19, 20. So by like 21, my credit was negative 33.
He's so stupid.
That's what it was just.
He's so stupid.
At that point,
negative 33.
Negative 33. By that time, when I walked into a store, my picture was up. It's like, he ain't got no money, send him away.
And no credit.
I wasn't stealing nothing. They just knew my credit was bad. He ain't got no money.
He ain't got no money. Matter of fact, nobody even came and talked to you.
Yeah,
baby.
no.
Nobody come and talk to you.
I'd be like, well, sir, can I help you? He's like, nah. No.
Don't go to him.
No, go this way.
Don't talk to him.
So it's just, are you, with that being said, because I can tell you serious about it. Tanisha, I can look in your face right now. You, when it comes to insurance,
don't make her break it down
you
some
serious
more.
about it. What type of conversations are you guys having do you have conversations with your kids about it? And if so, what does it look like?
I would say we have had conversations with our children about it. The crazy part is that it's kind of like icing on the cake, I guess. Mm-hmm. You don't see the benefit of it today, I guess is the best way to put it. We're not really going to see the benefit of it right now, I don't think. Mm-hmm. That's just my thought.
What's your thoughts on it?
It wasn't a conversation. It was like, this money getting ready to come out your account. You going to pay it every month. We have ours, but with Josh, it was like when I first started, his was the first policy that I wrote.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I'm paying for this. Yes, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
You pay for everything. You pay for stuff you need, you want to have. You're going to pay for this.
Yeah.
And it's like getting them in a habit to understand what the importance of it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you get it on your job. But the thing is, and I tell people when I sit with them, the one on your job is good because it's inexpensive. But if they decide they don't like you or
And
you don't like them,
that insurance
it's
leaves
gone.
with it.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
it's gone. I sit with so many people that have had it on their job and they say I should have gotten it younger. And over the years, they have these ailments. So now it's harder to get.
Yeah.
Or the thing that hurts me the most is when I sit with these 75, 80, 85-year-old people and they want to get insurance and they're on a fixed income.
Yeah.
I've walked away from a lot of people and I tell them, if I won't put my grandmother in this, I'm not putting you in it either.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. And they're like, well, what? It does not make sense. I'm not going to write a policy for you for you're on a fixed income. You make $700 a month. I'm not writing a $150 policy for you for $5,000. No.
Yeah.
Take that money and set it aside.
Yeah.
Do something different.
Yeah.
I'm not the person who is just going to sit with somebody and say, okay, this is what you want. I've told more than one person, Just like when you sit with a family and she's telling you, because you know you build rapport with your clients, and they're talking about their children and stuff. Well, this child ain't talked to this child in 2 years. I said, and you about to go broke trying to do a big life insurance policy for them. I said, money tear people up. You think this gonna make it better or it's gonna make it worse? Oh, well, I ain't think about that. Well, let's get you enough to cover this. And if you want to leave them grand something, that's fine. But don't put yourself in a bind where you're going to have to struggle to pay for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Because then there's no relief. You're not relieved at the fact that you even have to do life insurance. And now I don't have any relief because I'm paying an amount of money every single month that I can't really afford. You know? So that's even more stress. The way that my family, my mom and my dad, abundance of insurance, always have, like, from where they're gonna lay their head, just everything. But I was the kid that didn't pay attention. So I was the other way. I didn't pay attention because I didn't like to talk about death and my parents dying, and I didn't care who left me no money. It wasn't, I'm going to do my own thing. I got my own insurance. I'm going to do my own thing, not understanding that was important to them. Because my mother would always be like, let me see you the documentation. Ma, I don't want no document. File this for me. I don't want any. I think it did not become real until my dad passed away.
Until we had to use it. Until
we
Pop
had to
passed
use
away.
it, which actually the 15th made 6 years.
Yeah.
And when he passed away, it was this is how important life insurance is. When he passed away, it was five people. We called 5 people. And that one day, his funeral was taken care of. His flight back to New York was taken care of. The people in New York were taken care of. It was all my mother had to do is go, I want this, that, and the other. That's how important it is when you have enough and you've made plans and arrangements. You don't have to, I'm not disrespecting anybody, so please hear with my heart. You're not asking no one to do a GoFundMe. You're not asking for a fish fry. You're not asking for anyone to help you. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it was done. Mm-hmm. And that's when I knew at that point how serious. I already had it, but we anteed that bad boy up at one point. We was like, oh, because the stress that it took off my mother, having to deal with that, the stress took off me and my brother in Sanchez, of having to deal with that, what we're going to do, who we're going to call, wasn't a factor for us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so at that point, I don't know, like my tongue, excuse me.
It's okay. So I'm curious, because you guys do, sit down and talk to a lot of people when it comes to insurance and getting insurance and helping them figure out what's best for them.
Thank you.
What are some of the excuses you've heard as far as why they haven't done it or what's taken them so long? Because I know the biggest thing is no one really likes talking about death. Mm-hmm. And for some reason you think the moment I start talking about a policy, that means
that's death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are kind of some of the excuses you heard or the reasons you heard on why people don't want to do this or have that particular conversation?
A lot of them, first thing out there, most of them mouth is, I can't afford it. But you got Jordans. Right. You got a brand new phone every time it come out.
Right.
You got whatever. But you can't afford it. That's one of the main ones.
Wow.
I've had people tell me, I don't care what they do when my light go out.
Oh, wow.
And it's okay, this is the end of our conversation, because if this is what you saying, nothing else I'm going to say matters. I've had people tell me they didn't think they could afford it because nobody had ever told them they couldn't, but this is what they thought among themselves.
Right.
I've actually had people say, I don't think it's important. And my question behind it, because when I first started doing it, I was timid. Mm-hmm. Now I ask them, okay, so if you leave here today, you go out of here and you get killed by a Texan teenager, what your wife gonna do? What are your children gonna do? Can your wife afford to stay in this house after you gone?
Right. Wow. Yeah.
What is your children's new normal gonna look like?
Right.
And the other thing is, when people say, I don't know, it's like, you love this person, right?
Right.
You care about their well-being, right? You go to work to make sure they got food on the table, right? Well, when you're not here to make sure they got food on the table, how they gonna eat?
Right.
That's real. And I think a lot of people don't think about that part because, like you said, when your light goes out, it's out, But however, your family still has a way of life.
They light is still on.
Yeah, they still have a way of living they're accustomed to living.
Yes.
Can they still, like you said, if you own a house, can your spouse still keep the house once you're gone?
Right.
Can your kids still stay in college once they're gone? Can you still keep both cars? Can you still keep the lights on? And insurance helps you do that, but nobody wants to have that conversation. Nobody wants to talk about that.
I think because knowledge is power, and I think a lot of things that you're not knowledgeable in or you don't have enough information in, you kind of gloss over it. You don't even care about it because you don't even want to talk about it. And especially, and that's what happens with finances, because you're telling me, because people are saying, okay, so now you want me to find an extra $100 a month to pay for life insurance. No, what we're asking you to do is find an extra $100 a month for your family for the rest of their life. So when you're not here, that your children can still live. And I don't think that we're so busy being the right now people right now that we don't understand the future. Yeah. Because I remember when I heard Dave Ramsey talk about it and was like, it can be a wealth builder. I'm like, a wealth builder? Because I had never heard when he first said it. I know it now, like what you just said. If something happens to you, you can utilize that life insurance. But people don't know. They think that it's only for death. They don't understand the concept of what it's for, or they don't understand the different concept of different life insurance that they can have, or even something as simple as, we talk to people all the time about home insurance or life insurance, There's so many different insurances that people can have that they're not even familiar with. So now, do you guys only do life insurance, or do you do the gamut, like everything?
No, we do life, health, and Medicare. My sweet spot is the Medicare with the seniors.
My seasoned people.
But I love sitting with them because with the seniors, you have to take time with them and let them understand what they're doing and things. It's so many different things that they have access to. All they need is for someone to sit down and have a conversation.
Right.
But nothing burns me up more is when I sit with the seniors and somebody who sat with them before then mistreated them. I got an attitude about that. Yeah. And what I mean is with Medicare, when like you have open enrollment that goes from January 1st to March 31st. Then you have annual enrollment that goes from October 15th to December 7th. And I sat with so many people and was like, well, I'm receiving bills because of this. I'm receiving bills because of this. And when I sat down and dug into it, it was because the person who sat down with them before didn't take the time to make sure their doctors were in network, to let them know about their medications. My grandmother passed away in September 11th, 2020. She was 101 years old.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And it was so many people there that were supporting and loving and doing stuff. Nothing burns my nerves more is when you take advantage of a senior.
Yeah.
So if I have to sit there with them for 2 hours to go over and make sure they understand it and have their benefits, that's just what I do. That's my sweet spot. I do it all, but I like them.
You like? I like somebody who gonna listen, because
somebody who can give you some wisdom about something.
Yes, and just absolutely listen to that.
Before you go, just two quick things. It's amazing to me how somebody before, I'm not gonna say any names.
I'm not saying the names.
I wouldn't do that.
I caught it.
They were like, I'm nervous. I don't really know.
But she out there today.
But when you get them in a sweet spot,
she out there
talking about stuff that they love talking about. It's amazing how that works.
She come out there, didn't she?
But for me, I ain't heard from Junior enough, so I need Junior to talk to the men for a moment. Well, so sorry. I got a question for you, sir, because there's some things you said earlier. Because when you did your introduction, you said you're friends with your wife, best friends with your wife. It's obvious how much you love and care. You mentioned how much of a great father. Your wife mentioned how much of a great father you are. So what I want you to do just for a few moments, talk to the men that's listening right now, because to be honest, men don't really like having this particular conversation.
No, not at all.
They don't really like talking about this. We deal with it enough. We don't really want to deal with it. But I want you to talk to the men just for a moment. Why is it important to have this conversation? Why is it important to look into these things and do these things? Why is it important?
Absolutely.
I guess the way to look at it, first of all, the most important thing about it is the fact that if we don't have this conversation, while we can talk back and forth to each other, and somebody's going to end up making all these decisions for you.
That's good.
Whether that be a man or a woman.
Right.
But as a black man, like I've had this conversation with my father more than once. He's 81, God bless his soul.
Wow.
And the thing is that my younger brother doesn't like having that conversation.
Okay.
Oh, I don't want to talk about death. Now, I've sat with my father. We actually sat with him one day because we did this policy. But we talked about everything from his funeral to how he wants it done, who do you want to preach, who you want to sing.
Right.
And he was like, well, yeah, let's write all that down. I said, because I want you to have it the way that you would want it done.
Right.
And as men, we should have a say-so in how we live, but we should also have a say-so in how we die.
Come on now.
You know
Come
what I mean?
on now.
Because the things
I almost snapped. Come on now. Come on. You know, I'm sorry to throw you off, but that's your husband. That's your man, honey.
Because when it comes to life insurance and the passion that my wife speaks about it with is the fact that she truly loves what she does. She truly loves helping people.
Right.
And the crazy part is, as black men, half the time we work. And I drive a truck, so she does the business 97% of the time. A couple of times I've sat with her and helped with things, but this is her ministry. I'll say it that way.
Okay.
And my ministry is to support her in everything that she does.
Right.
Which is for our benefit, though.
Right.
And as black men, we got to realize that we got to go harder for our wives than our wives go for themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because God put us here to be that strength for tomorrow.
You better say it.
You know what I mean? And it's like when
ma'am, concentrate, ma'am. Ma'am.
When it comes to life insurance, and like she said before, if something happens to Sanchez, heaven forbid, but what's Angela gonna do?
Right. Yeah.
Or if something happens to this husband or whatever, and like you said, with the GoFundMe and the fish fries and all this that we've all been experienced to before. And then it's like, well, I thought they had it.
Right.
But you never had the conversation about it.
Yeah.
So as men, we have to have this conversation, even especially with other men. Because
I believe that
my
too.
brothers, the fellas, we got a tight crew.
Right.
And the thing is that we've had these conversations as far as, well, hey, have you thought about your mental health? Have you thought about, because one of them was one of y'all guests at one point.
Yes, sir.
And so we've talked about life insurance and how we love and respect our wives in life.
Right.
But how are we going to love and respect them in death?
Right.
Which would be that life insurance policy.
Right. That's
Because
good.
if I die and I have no life insurance, what's she going to do?
Right.
Now she got to bury me and get ready to move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
all at the same time.
all at the same time. And like you said about your father, God rest his soul. But the thing is, y'all made a couple of phone calls and boom, everything was
done.
Right.
It
Instead
was
of you having
done.
the stress like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Because folks don't understand the cost of a funeral. Most people feel like a funeral is going to run them $5,000-$6,000. I can get buried for $5,000-$6,000, and it's like, have you checked into that?
No, that's you in a pine box. That's all.
Right.
You don't got no service, no nothing.
You have no nothing.
No, you
Your
got
and your
you
family
cremated
dug that hole.
5,000. You cremated.
That's
That's
it.
it.
And
That's
that's
it.
all.
No
Exactly.
service, but that's it.
That's it. And that's
Yes.
the thing. Most funerals today are running 15 to 20.
15 to 20 on
And
the
most
low
people
end.
be like, oh no, I don't need that much. No, pimp. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's bare minimum.
Yeah, and as men, we have to look at the fact of, if something happens to me, yes, she's gonna be emotional because women are emotional creatures. If something happens to my wife, am I gonna be emotional? Of course.
You better
But-
be.
But I would still have to be able to make that decision that she wants this, this, and this.
Right.
Let's make it happen, sir.
Okay.
We knew our father loved our mother in life.
Woo.
But we really figured out how much he
She loved
loved that
her
lady
in death.
when he was gone, because of what he did and how he
Yes.
set her up.
Yeah.
Because like we said, like Ange said, when Pop passed away, Mommy did not have to worry about
Nothing.
anything. The only thing she had to focus on was missing him, was grieving.
You're grieving him.
She didn't have to worry about, like you said, she didn't have to worry about what she was going to live,
Yeah.
about how the bills are going to be paid. Nothing. Her way of life, as far as that stayed the
Never
same, where the
changed.
only thing she had to focus on
Was
was
grieving
the
him.
fact that she was missing him and he was
Gone.
And I know this sounds crazy, but that's a peace of mind.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing, like you said, because men, if you love your wife, if you truly love your wife, she has enough when you're gone. She has enough to think about when you leave.
Yeah.
To have to worry about, okay, now is little Johnny gonna be able to continue what he's doing and how the lights, and that's another thing. Families have the conversation. Yes, yes, one person may like finances more than the other, but you both have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
You both have to know what's going on. Yeah, even though I despise having, we had an impromptu financial meeting
last
this morning.
night.
No, was this morning?
Was it this oh, it was this morning. I was at my desk.
Morning.
It was this morning.
Junior, I was laying in bed minding my business. I wasn't bothering nobody.
He hit you like that.
I wasn't bothering nobody.
Ask him one question.
I was trying to find Judge Judy.
I had a question.
I wasn't bothering nobody.
I had a question about something.
But
There's never one question.
It's never. And I should have known something was going wrong because the book came out.
Oh.
There's this one book that she got that when this book come out. But even with that being said, even though I hate having it, we have the conversation because God forbid if anything happens to Ange, when it comes to that, I won't miss a beat because I know what's going on when it comes to our finances.
Right.
Something that you said was so, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Something that you said was so major, Junior, was the fact that sitting down and let's talk about this death part because, and what you want in death. Not only that, but okay, if the funeral was $15,000, how much does it cost you to live? These are the real information. This is how you do this life insurance thing and know what you need. And I think people don't do that. They be like, they only think about the death. Okay, so $15,000, but now you do know that when you're gone, how much does it take for your family to live annually? Right. Because that's going to be the game changer. That's where the wealth building come at. And I think I would prefer to pay the extra money now that if I go away, I know that Sanchez and my children and my grandchildren are going to be okay. But I think where the buck stops, and please tell me if I'm wrong, the buck just stops at this is how much your funeral costs, and that's where the buck stop at. Nobody thinks about, okay, how much does it cost for you to live next year? And let's look at our numbers. So when we do this life insurance, that you are covered. And I think we don't do that. One of the things that my dad did, which was weird, he gave me some paperwork. He was like, keep this paperwork. About 2 years into him being passed away,
2 years
I decided to touch the paperwork. This is how much he loved my mama. 2 years of this joker had stuck 2 more life insurance policies in there that my mother didn't even know about. And I called her. And I said, Mommy, because he worked for Transit in New York City. And sure enough, she got 2 more checks. But he gave it to me because I guess he was like, just in case. One day she decided to go through here, and if my woman needed, it'll be available. That's the stuff that you trying to help people with. That's the stuff. That's why I love you. I wanted to talk to you both so much because you love people enough that know that it's not just death. It is life, and may not be the person who dies life, but it's the rest of your family's life.
Junior said it best. It's their ministry.
Yes,
it's their
that's
ministry.
That's your ministry. So how do you because you're so passionate? How do you get people to understand this concept of that thing?
Well, what I have them do is, because I sit with a lot of people and they say, "Oh, I just need $10,000." Okay, so after they bury you with this, you want her to go right back to work. She needs, and I always ask the wife, how long is it going to take you to figure out what your new normal looks like? Is it going to take you 6 months? Is it going to take you a year?
That's good.
Is it going to take you 2 years?
Wow.
And based off of that number,
wow, girl, you got that.
Is how we come up with it. Because the thing is, what happens is you get a person who's passed away. This mother has these children. They can't afford to stay in this home because he was the breadwinner. Not only have she lost a husband, but they've lost a father. Now they're getting ready to lose their home, and they're getting ready to go have to move in with Aunt Susie into her 2-bedroom. This is a whole lot of change.
Teach.
But the thing is, when you see when people, our goal is to make sure when they leave that they can stay in their sweet spot. Because people with homes, either they're going to stay because of the memories or they're not going to stay because of the memories.
Right.
But if they decide not to stay, you want them to be able to keep the equity that they have in that house.
Right.
Not say, I got 30 days before this house go into foreclosure. I need to take the first thing. I owe $100,000. You get somebody that come in and offer them $100,000 and they gone. But the house appraised for $160,000. So you done lost all of that equity.
You done left the money on the table.
Right. So we set them up so that if it doesn't matter if you're going to stay, if you're going to leave. If you think you're going to leave and you just need 6 months to take your time and go through and clean up and get the house in sellable condition, get your mind right.
Yeah.
Because if you spend 20 years with a person, when they leave here, it's not just a flip of a switch. It's emotional.
That's right.
Y'all
That's
connected.
Right.
So you need the time to be able to sit down. I talked to a lady. Her son passed away. Her job told her, you got 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days.
3 to 6 days. Who
That's
in
it.
the world?
She had to go back because for one, he didn't have no insurance. She couldn't afford to take the time off. And she was scrambling. She had to scramble and get people together to take care of his needs. But she didn't have a choice.
Right. Wow.
But if she was like, and she didn't make that same mistake because she got her younger child insured.
Yeah.
He was older and she didn't know.
Right.
But it's just like one of those things. It's like, if I sit with you and you can't afford $50,000, let's get you what you can afford. My thing is to understand what they want to do and to stay within their budget. And most people say, why you ask about my budget? Because you know your budget better than anybody else.
Right.
And if you tell me you can only afford $30, we going $30. We're not going $31.
Right.
Because what I don't want you to do is to have this policy for 2 or 3 months and cancel it. Because what you've done is gave the insurance company your money.
Your money.
And they don't need it.
Wow.
This is for you. This is to break those generational curses of poverty. This is to have generational wealth.
Right.
I love
This
Junior,
is a
man.
way for us to get ahead as the people.
Right.
And stop living in that check to check mindset.
Right.
But the thing is, you have to worry about when you're leaving these people money, you got to set it up so that they don't get it and just blow it.
Right.
Let it go for what you want them to go for.
So that again, it goes back to what Junior was saying. There has to be some real conversation.
Yeah.
They can't just be, let's get some life insurance. It has to really have some real conversation, about what this means to your family. So I know this is going to be I know off the top of your head, but the bare minimum, what's the bare minimum that people right now, family, I got a little bit of money, Tanisha and Junior. I hear what y'all saying. Oh my God, I need to get life insurance. But what's the bare minimum right now? And I know it's difficult because you're not discussing it with them. But if you had to tell somebody right now, at least get this amount right now and then grow it, what would you say?
If they tell me all I got is $30 a month that I can set aside to this, let's see what we can get you for $30 a month.
Right.
Whether that be, depending on the age, it may be $10,000. And you working to pay these bills off, let's get these bills paid off so we can increase this.
Come on now.
But what we also do is when people tell me they don't have no money, let's write down your budget. Let's write down what you spending. Okay, well, you hitting Starbucks 5 days a week. Let's cut that out and protect your family. Is you having coffee or your family's protection more important?
Come on.
And that's
I see why you be staring at her, Junior. I see why you be staring at her.
That's the crazy part. That's a real conversation because 90% of the people that we end up sitting with, they're like, oh, I can't afford that right now. And just like she said, let's look at your numbers.
Right.
And once you look at the numbers, even when we sitting at the house when we're doing our budget, and it's like, let's look at these numbers. Okay, we need to write down everything that we spending so we know if our money is working for us or if we're working for our money.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, especially with the life insurance side of it, with the things that, and it's just funny to me though, when I've seen her do some on, it got real big last year in 2020 on the video joints. Yeah, on Zoom. She was doing them on Zoom. And so it's like when she's sitting there talking to the person and she tells them, okay, we need to talk about your budget. The first thing they do, why? And she tells them, because I need to know where you're at.
Right.
So I can see where I need to take you to.
Right.
And they're like, well, I told you what I want to spend. No, my bad. They'll say, I told you how much I want. And most people, they want $200,000-$300,000 worth of insurance because they see those commercials. And people, those commercials is not for everybody.
Right.
When y'all see those
can you
commercials,
teach them, please? Can you teach them?
This is my PSA right here. when you see those commercials on TV that tell you, hey, call this number and we can get you this. Make sure you look and see what it is, because if it's a term policy, right, we'll give you a 10-year term policy for $500,000 for $18 a month. Oh God, I'm gonna get that. Boom, you've got $500,000 for 10 years. You're still living after that.
Right.
You paid X amount of dollars into it. Everything is done, like Tanisha said a while ago. At the end of a term policy, you still alive. You have no more insurance, pimp. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no more. There's no in between with that.
Right.
You know, and that's why the important part is when she sits with folks and she lets them know that, hey, this here is what I need to know from you.
Right.
How much can you truly afford? Because she can write policies all day long.
Right.
But can you afford these policies?
Right.
Because there's no need for you to go buy $100 pair of jeans. You got $30 in your pocket.
Right.
You can't leave with them jeans.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Can't leave nobody them jeans either.
Exactly.
Go
So
ahead.
the things that, and with the generational wealth that we're trying to get people to see, to understand this, it's easy to build generational wealth, just as easy it is to be generationally broke.
That's right.
Come on.
You know
Come
what
on
I'm saying?
here.
You do.
Because
We're aluminum foil.
Junior don't talk a lot, but when he do,
With aluminum.
he dropping nuggets after
Where's
nuggets.
aluminum? Where's aluminum? Go on, Junior. Go ahead.
That's why you love your husband. That's why you love him.
She done rubbed him 3 times, y'all. 3 times she done rubbed him.
But no, that's real talk, because when we look at the black culture compared to other cultures, you've got other cultures that will get together and try to figure out how can we build it.
Right.
But then that crab mentality that we've always been up under, as far as not learning about money back in the day.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you got a little money. What's the first thing we do? We get a little money.
Spend.
Ooh, what can I go buy? Instead of saying
Stuff that depreciate immediately.
thank you. As soon as you leave with it.
Immediately.
But a life insurance policy is going to appreciate. Now, you may look at it as, oh, man, I can't afford to pay that every month.
Right.
But you think about it. If you're only paying $10, $15 a month on this policy at the age of 25, 30, 35, because a lot of young cats feel like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
But if you young cats that's listening to us right now, you make this phone call, talk to Miss Tanisha, and get hooked up with a policy. The
Right.
thing is that as you grow, you're not missing that $5 or $10 because
right.
you're growing. You're making more money in your life. You don't have to increase that policy. You got whatever this big policy is sitting over here.
Right.
So as you get older and older, that money's still going over there. Something happened to you. Oh my God, I can pull money from my life insurance policy because COVID popped off. So now I don't need you to send me no money because I've got some money sitting to
Right.
the side. But we don't live that way.
We don't live that way.
It's one thing Junior has said throughout the entire conversation. It's one phrase he keeps saying, and it's mindset. And that's the thing, because what you said was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Because generational wealth can be passed along, but also generational brokenness
Yes, it
can be
can.
passed
That
along.
scarcity
And
mindset.
that scarcity, and all comes from that mindset. Because for whatever reason, you have that mindset that you can't build, or that mindset, like you said, that crab mentality, or Tanisha, like you said earlier, people saying, well, why should I worry about, I'm gone? Why should I worry about the people behind me? I'm gone. But my thing is, if you love this person in life, you have to love them in death.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
Because the
right.
one thing we don't talk about, anything happens, okay, you go from two income household. Let's say your combined income is, easy number for me, is $100,000. Okay, but now you're a single family household, single income. Now your income is cut in half, but your lifestyle is still $100,000 lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now you're only bringing in 50, as they were saying with that life insurance. That helped you there. Because I think one thing, Tanisha, you said was beautiful. How much time do you need? Because like the young lady
Come
who,
on. That was so good.
her job only
So
gave her
good.
3 days. You can't grieve a goldfish in 3 days.
That's right.
Now you're telling this.
I just finished the funeral
Yeah.
arrangements in 3 days.
You're telling this
I can't.
person who, the person they birthed and they brought to life and they took care of when they were sick, they changed diapers, they raised, they had to lay this person to rest. And you telling, oh yeah, do it, but by Monday be back to work.
Right.
Right.
And you have to do it because you don't have the necessary finances to do it. So, like you said, keep that in mind, that when you're looking at your life, even if you currently have life insurance, because baby, to be honest, we need to reevaluate ours.
I'm gonna
be
tell you,
honest.
When I was like, I promise you,
Yeah, we
no
need
lie, I
to.
was like, okay, because we got 4 of them. Okay, when we leave here,
Yeah, we need to
we may have to
reevaluate.
call her. We need to go reevaluate our insurance
Because
and we
our-
got it
yeah.
for kids and us and more than enough. But now you done made us think a little bit deeper in this situation.
Because I never thought of that, because you are everything to me. Seriously, all just like, you are everything to me. So God forbid anything happens to you, I'm not good in 3 days. I'm not good in 6 months.
Thank you.
I may not even be good in a year.
Right.
Because the person that I've been with for 21 years, who I've every day, everything I've done is for them and to love them. And now you're not there. And now you're telling me, okay, yeah, but now in a month you need to be back to work. Get over it.
Right.
I can't make that promise I'm going to be able to do that. But I never thought about that. Okay, with my life insurance, does that allow me to have that 3, 6, a year, 2 years time to be able to do that? I see now.
I see now.
Yeah,
I see now.
That
And
life insurance. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, Chess, I see it. I see exactly. I want to piggyback. You could talk. I was just like, no, I see y'all now. But go ahead. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, but yeah, that life insurance, what it does is helps to fill that void,
Right?
Because like Sanchez said, there's 2 incomes that we have, and a lot of homes have 2 incomes. But you have to think about the fact of, okay, if this person leaves, oh my God, now I got to look at 1 income, and I'm grieving.
Right.
Yeah.
So can I grieve in 3 days? Will I move on in 3 days?
Right.
Can I go back to work? Because you think about it, depending on your job, can you go back to work in 3 days? And somebody just died, you be sitting there running a forklift or something like that. And you're and think about this, people. Your whatever job you have, it is a sensitive function that you're doing, whether you're stocking shelves, driving a truck, you're a policeman, whatever it is you're doing, somebody's life is in your hands.
Right.
Because if you're stocking shelves in a grocery store, but now you mix up the ice cream and some insecticide or something like that, get too close to each other because you're not thinking, because
Right.
you're back to work after 2 or 3 days.
Right.
Life insurance will help you to be at home.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you got to come back to work. I can't do it.
I can't do it.
But if you got X amount of dollars sitting on the sidelines, knowing, even if you didn't know that you got life insurance policies coming. But the thing is that if something happens to me, heaven forbid, Tanisha knows she got a little money coming.
Right.
I
Worth
tell her
more
all
than
the
me
time.
alive.
You can say that.
I want you, baby. I want you. I think, you know what's so funny? Another thing, the people, we've never discussed it, but that's the reason why I resigned from my job. I had a job that I loved.
Yeah.
And my dad passed away. And I had 5 days. and I went
5 whole days.
I had 5 whole days, and I went back just like they said, but I could not get past it, and I just couldn't function. And I was customer service. I'm on the phone, and you got your numbers and how long you take and all of this stuff. And I remember my supervisor asking me to come in with the manager, and so I went inside with the manager. I wound up Cinch doesn't even know I had quit till I told him, and I was in there. And the manager said to me, I know that your dad passed, and I'm sorry to hear that right now, but right now this is business and that's personal. And right now you have to take care of business and deal with personal outside of business. So my supervisor looked at me and she was like, oh, Heavenly Father, because they know my mouth. And I said, this right now is personal. Here's my 2 weeks notice. I'm out. And I called Sanchez and I said I resigned. Because what you're not going to do is tell me how long I should grieve for I understand the business sense. I understand that work has to flow, but there was a different way of saying that. There was a different way of handling that with me, telling me that my dad passed away is personal. I need to go put that in a corner while I work. Wow. And
that.
And
put that in a box.
And I remember telling Sanchez, I gave him a 2 week notice. He would say, well, that's not going to happen.
Come on home.
Come home. That's it. It's over. And so I need people to understand that thing is real. You think that you can go back to work in 5 days. Like you said, I thought that I could have these people in my ear talking to me and asking me like about their credit card. Ma'am?
Do you not know what I just been through?
I don't care about
your credit.
I don't really care.
You're a non-factor
right
now.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not even really listening to you. So I need family to understand that you may think that you're okay, but you're not. You need time to do that. So please take heed to what they are saying. And another thing that I appreciate about you both is the fact that you're saying, you know what, What's your budget? That means that you are setting them up for success. See, most people that sell life insurance is why people don't like to do it is because they sell them this life insurance. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter if they can afford it or not. They just made a sale. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But this is your baby. This is your ministry. This is you guys' heart. And the fact that you even tell them, let's go over your budget. Let's see what you can afford. The fact that you even say, let's do $30. And then when we find more money, we will have you grow your life insurance is something different that has ever happened in the industry, because that doesn't happen in the industry, you know? So that lets me to know that how phenomenal is that you guys want people to genuinely succeed in this area and break these curses. You know, I had a young lady tell me, I was like, okay, of another nationality, and she was like, oh no, we all got insurance on grandma. Oh, everybody got insurance on grandma? The whole family got insurance on grandma. Yeah. And I remember my oldest son saying that, and I'm like, well, he was like, you know, Mom, we should all have, you know, and I'm in, at the time I wasn't knowledgeable, and I was indignant. My first of all, you waiting for your grandmother to die? Because you get indignant with this stuff. Oh, so you waiting for your grandmother to die? Why should we all have life insurance? And I remember her saying that she was the head of the family, and they all had life insurance.
Because it's expected. They tell you to. You better. They tell you better.
Because she's the grandma. She's the hierarchy. So everybody under, at least the children, should have insurance on grandma. Never had I ever considered that.
The one thing I keep hearing, Tanisha, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's been a common theme. Insurance gives you options.
Yeah, insurance.
It gives you options.
It gives you options that you won't have if you don't have it. Yeah. Because what happens is, and what we've told our family and our friends, you know what we do, and I've approached you with it. So God forbid, if you leave here and you don't have no coverage, I'm not buying no fish plate, and I'm not giving to the GoFundMe. I'm not.
And
that's the truth.
That's 100 right
there. That's the truth.
Yeah. She done told more than one that.
We're not doing it. Because at this day and age, there's no excuse anymore.
Yeah, the Crenshaw's got to go reevaluate. Seriously. We got to pull them all up now. No, I'm not playing. I'm so serious right now.
But
wow.
This is the part I hate.
Whew.
Yeah, we
gotta wrap it up. Oh my goodness,
coming to the end, because I can sit here and do this all day.
Oh
I know it went so
stayed
quickly.
On task. See, we did. We stayed on task.
Y'all did. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all.
Y'all know dirt well we did stay on task.
Hey, it was close enough.
It was close though. Yeah, we was pulling it. We was pulling it.
Just wobbled a little bit. Yeah, you don't fall off.
You forced me to, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I wanted to turn it into an After Dark episode.
No, we're not. We're not.
We'll come back and do that.
Thank you, babe.
All right. So the one thing we always like to do when it comes to the Crenshaw Corner, we always like to leave the family with a final thought. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna start with Miss Tanisha. What is your final thought for the family?
Mm-hmm. Final thought is, if you have people that you love, take the time to invest now for something that's gonna benefit them later.
Mm-hmm.
Works for me.
That's good.
Junior.
Stop staring at your wife and concentrate, bro.
Hey, my final thought is going to be a real quick thought to the brothers, the men, young men, old men, whatever. The thing is, if you love those people in your life, especially your wife, your mother, you love your people, make sure that you do what you need to do while you're alive, so that when you die, they still good.
That's right.
That's good.
That's all I got.
What you got, babe?
I don't even know. I'm speechless today. I just want to go check my life insurance policies.
But anyway, that's a conversation we're going to have.
What I do want to say is, if you do consider that you need life insurance, their information will be
we're gonna make that
under the podcast available for you. That's because I am so astonished by things that they have said, because we have experienced people who sell life insurance before, and they are not saying what you're saying. And so I just know that information going to be part of with the podcast when it goes out.
I'm going to do a twofold final thought, piggyback off of Junior just a little bit. Mm-hmm. But first, everything we talk about, have the hard conversations.
Yeah.
You have to have the hard conversations. Mm-hmm. Talking about, because what do you want?
Yeah.
You know, what's going to happen when you leave? What's going to happen when your spouse leaves? How are we going to do this? What kind of life do you want to live? These are the conversations that you have to have.
Yeah.
I don't care what age you are. You have to have these conversations.
Yeah.
And then the second part, to piggyback off of Junior a little bit, if you loved them in life, love them in death.
Yeah, absolutely.
And insurance allows you to do that. And having these hard conversations now allows you to do that. That if you look somebody in their eyes right now and say, I love you, just don't have it be because I'm breathing. I show you I love you.
And if you love them, you can really enjoy them knowing that you have secured, if something happened to you, that they will be okay. That they will be okay.
Right.
Guys, I
Oh my
can't
gosh,
tell you.
guys.
Because
oh my gosh.
I'm going to be honest. I was nervous. And it had nothing to do with you two. Because I knew, especially Junior, I knew on the mic,
it was going
Junior
down.
was going to be amazing.
Junior going to do what he did.
Yeah, so no offense to you, Tanisha, but I knew Junior, once you get that mic in front of him, he was going to be amazing. But it was the topic for me. For me, that I thought there was no way that you can make insurance, life insurance, entertaining and enjoyable.
But it was.
But you both proved me wrong.
Yeah, you did.
And Miss Tanisha, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your passion. Thank you so much for your love, for your ministry, because this for you is truly a ministry. And it shows. And thank you for taking care of the seasoned people.
Yeah.
Because it does my heart good to know that somebody out there is still trying to take care of them.
Well, thank y'all for having us on here.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. That was amazing. Yes.
Family is always.
Family.
We want to thank you guys. Thank you for listening.
Once
However you're
again.
listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Google Play, whether it's Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or on our own personal website at www.theCrenshawCorner.com.
My goodness.
Remember, we are an interactive podcast, which means we can be found on the socials. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, all under Crenshaw
I'm
Corner.
going to get them on TikTok, people. I'm going
I
to get
am
them.
too old for tick and talking.
But carry home. Till the what?
I am too old for tick and talking.
Anyway, go ahead, baby. Oh, my gosh.
Say that again.
I can't stand you.
And
Go
of course,
ahead.
family, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, at
Oh, my
thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
gosh, I love you.
Family, as always, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye.